The world is born screaming from the belly of the sea, a tectonic groan of fire and steam. When the screaming stops, a new island breathes, its first sterile breath under the sun. It is a thing of raw geology, a jagged landscape of black glass and grey ash. The shores are littered not with shells, but with razor-sharp obsidian. The hills are mounds of porous, feather-like pumice. There is no soil. There are no trees. There is only the hiss of the wind over volcanic rock and the relentless crash of waves against a shore that has never known life. This is the stage. The first actor arrives on a throne of driftwood, a casualty of a brutal storm. Ashan is a woman of the coastal clans, and she is pregnant. She washes ashore, a broken piece of a distant world, and awakens to a silence that is deeper than any she has ever known. Her world is gone. Her clan is gone. She is utterly, profoundly alone on a piece of earth younger than herself. Her survival is a grim litany of primal needs. Thirst is the first tyrant. She finds it in a hollow drop basin where rainwater has pooled, the taste metallic and strange. Hunger is the second. The sea, a force of destruction that brought her here, becomes her only provider. She wades into the shallows, her hands bleeding from the sharp volcanic rock, and plucks shellfish from their beds. She smashes them open with a piece of obsidian. The Rom eat a briny, desperate meal. Days bleed into weeks. She finds a partial cave, a collapsed bubble in the cooled lava, and it becomes her home. But the true enemy is not the element of a hunger. It is the crushing monolithic weight of the silence. It is the madness that breeds in a mind with no reflection but the blank canvas of a new world. She talks, to herself, to the child in her belly, to the skull of a sea turtle she finds bleached on the shore. Her voice is the first sound of complex life on this island, a fragile shield against the void. And then, a miracle. It is a tiny spear of green, no bigger than her thumbnail, pushing its way out through a crack in the black sand. A seed carried on the wind or in the gut of a passing bird has found purchase. It is the first note in a song of creation. This is primary succession in its purest form. Ashen weeps, her tears watering the first plant on a new world. She is no longer just a survivor. She is a witness. A few days later, a dragonfly, iridescent and shimmering, lands on her arm. It has been blown off course, a tiny Columbus finding a new continent. It is another verse. The world is beginning to sing, and she is the only audience. She is Eve, alone in a garden of stone and ash, waiting for the future to be born from her own body. Time passes, measured in tides and the slow greening of the black rock. The island learns the color green. Mosses, tenacious and ancient, paint the damp northern faces of the cliffs. Ferns unfurl their delicate fists in the shade of volcanic overhangs. The symphony of life grows richer. Insects beget more insects. Seabirds, finding a resting place free of the mainland-est predators, begin to nest. Their guano enriches the thin, ashen soil, creating fertile pockets where more complex plants can take root. Ashan is no longer just a witness, she is a participant. She learns the birds' nesting times, the best tide pools for crabs, the places where the wind deposits the most driftwood. The island is her partner in survival. The birth is a silent war waged in the lava cave, a battle fought against pain and fear and absolute solitude. She bites down on a piece of cured hide to keep from screaming, not because the sound would be swallowed by the indifferent world, a reminder of her isolation. The child comes into the world not with the welcoming hands of a clan, but onto a bed of soft seaweed on a floor of cold, hard rock. It is a boy. She names him Kai, a word from her lost people meaning the sea, for it was a sea that gave him to this new world. Kai is not a burden, he is an anchor. His small, grasping hands, his utter dependence root Ash into her life with a ferocity she has not fought before. She is no longer just a woman surviving. She is a mother, a creator, a lineage. They are a community of two against a world of one. Her explorations for food become more daring. She maps the island in her mind, every crevice, every pool. She discovers a great, hollow passage running through the heart of the main ridge, a lava tube, a place where the island's fiery heart once beat, now a dark, echoing throat in the rock. It is a place of deep shadow, a potential shelter, a potential trap. The fragile hope of their new world is shattered by a sail on the horizon, not a sail of wood and hide, but a crimson sail of flesh and bone cleaving the water. A new god has come to their garden. It is a Spinosaurus, a titan of the coastlines, an amphibious king. It is drawn by the same burgeoning life that sustains Ashan and Kai. It is a fisher, a hunter of the shallows, and it is ruthlessly efficient. It makes the island's southern bay its hunting ground, the very place Ashan gathers most of their food. She watches from the high rocks, her son clutched to her chest, as the beast wades into the clear water. Its long crocodile-like snout dips below the surface, its sensory pits detecting the slightest movement. It strikes with the speed of a striking snake, its conical teeth impaling a large, struggling fish. The clear water of the tide pool blossoms with a cloud of red. The monster swallows its catch whole, its great sail catching the morning light, the banner of its absolute dominion. It has not noticed them. It does not need to. It has, in a single morning, claimed their larder. The island that was their salvation is now a cage with a monster at the door. Starvation is a slow, methodical beast. It chews away at hope first, then strength. Ashan and Kai are ghosts on their own island, relegated to the treacherous northern shores where the waves smash against cliffs and the pickings are slim. The Spinosaurus owns the south. It is a lazy tyrant, fat and content on the bounty of the bay. Ashan watches it from the high ridge, a hollow ache in her belly and a cold fire of rage in her heart. She is a hunter without a hunting ground, a mother with nothing to offer her child but scraps. Her intimate knowledge of the island, once a comfort, is now a map of what she has lost. But a map can also show the way. Her thoughts keep returning to the lava tube, the dark heart of the island. It is a place of weakness. The roof is thin in places, the rock fractured by the cooling of the earth's blood. The high tide, she knows, floods the main channel, creating a powerful churning current. The predator hunts on the high tide. The island has offered her the pieces of a puzzle. Her survival, and Kay's, depends on her ability to put them together. The plan is an act of geological warfare. It is the most audacious form of niche construction a single human has ever conceived. She will not fight the beast. She will fight the island on which it stands. For 2 days, while Kai sleeps in a high, hidden crevice, she works. Using a heavy, sharp-edged boulder as a combination hammer and lever, she attacks the thinnest section of the lava tube's roof. It is brutal, exhausting work. Her hands are raw, her muscles scream, but her movements are fueled by a mother's cold fury. She does not try to break through, she only weakens it, creating a web of deep fractures, a deadfall trap waiting for a trigger. On the 3rd day, the trap is set. The tide is rising. She catches a large silver fish. Its struggles are frantic, drumming against her ribs. She bleeds it near the sea-facing mouth of the lava tube, letting the current carry the scent into the bay. Then, with a prayer to the silent sky, she throws the fish deep into the tube's dark maw and scrambles up the cliff face to her prepared position. She does not wait long. The Spinosaurus, arrogant in its power, follows the trail of blood. It sees the easy meal in the shadows, a prize for which it does not have to hunt. It lowers its great head and wades into the tunnel. This is the moment. Ashan puts all her weight, all her love for the child sleeping in the rocks onto the lever. The sound is a deep, grinding groan as the rock gives way. The weakened roof of the lava tube collapses inwards. It is not a clean break, but a messy, violent cascade of stone and pumice. A roar of shock and pain erupts from within the mountain, a sound so powerful it seems to shake the island to its core. The beast is not crushed, but it is trapped, battered, its tail pinned by a 1,000-pound boulder as the tide surges around it. The predator has become the prey of the island itself, its panic turning the water in the tube to a violent churning foam. Ashan does not wait to see the outcome. She snatches Kai and flees to the far side of the island, her heart a wild drum against his small back. The beast's terrified roars follow them for hours, a sound of a god being taught the lesson of fear. When they return 2 days later, the beast is gone. A trail of blood stains the rocks leading out of the mangled lava tube and into the deep water. It will not return. The bay is theirs again. This single, desperate act has fundamentally altered their world, a localized trophic cascade initiated by a human mind. Hushan stands on the black sand, her son's hand in hers, and looks at the wounded mountain. She did not set out to create a world, but in her fight for her son, for her lineage of two, she has become the island's shaping hand, its architect, its new and thinking god. The history of human evolution is filled with migrations and adaptations. But here, on an island born of fire, is something new, the story of a world that did not just change a human, but a human who changed her world. She is the first master of her own ecosystem, the queen of a garden she coaxed from ash and defended with stone. Because the ultimate act of survival is not to find a place in the world, but to make one. But not all new worlds are empty. Some are already home to a very old and patient darkness.